Hi, my name is Yiming.
My name is Jin. Our topic is forecasting. Firstly, let Yiming present the introduction that what is business analysis and forecasting.
Okay, let me start. Business analysis is a research discipline of identify business needs and determine solutions to business problems. Solution, Solutions often include a systems development component, but may also consist of process improvement, organizational change, or strategic planning and policy development. Using of historic data to determine the direction of future trends. Forecasting is used by companies to determine how to allocate their budgets for an upcoming period of time. This is typically based on the demand for the goods and service it offers, compared to the cost of producing them. Investors utilize forecasting to determine if events affecting a company, such as sales expectation, it will increase or decrease the price of shares in that company. Forecasting also provides an important benchmark for firms which have a long-term perspective of operations. There are five main types of forecasting. The first one is extrapolation, that is, extend or bend a known line or curve from the past into the future. This requires some theory to decide whether to extend or bend. And the second one is leading indicators, that is, find internal or external variables that are shown to be correlated to the variable for which a forecast is designed, except that the correlated variable either moves sooner or can be mirrored sooner than the desired variable. And the third one is model building. It is about developing symbolic representation or simulation for prediction. For forecasters, several interrelated variables together. And the third one is Delphi. Um, that's attempting consensus among experts by iteration or individual forecast. And the final one is judgment, that chooses subjectively which forecast to believe. Business forecasting is very useful for businesses, as it allows them to plan production, financing, and so on. However, there are three problems with relying on forecasts. The first one, the data is always going to be old. Historical data is all we have to go on, and there is no guarantee that the conditions in the past will persist into the future. And secondly, it is impossible to factor in unique or unexpected events or externalities. Assumptions are dangerous, such as the assumptions that bank will properly screening borrowers prior to the subprime meltdown, and the black swan events have become more common as our dependence on forecasts has grown. And finally, forecasts can't integrate their own impact. By having forecasts accurate or inaccurate, the actions of businesses are influenced by a factor that that can't be included as a variable.
Then let me talk about the case study for forecasting. A large car fleet company asked us to help them forecast the vehicles they sell or lose. They purchase new vehicles, lease them out for 3 years, and then sell them. Better forecast of vehicle sales volume would mean better control of profits. Understanding what affects the sale values may allow leasing and sale policies to be developed in order to maximize profits. At the time, the sale values were being forecasted by a group of specialists. Unfortunately, they saw any statistical model as a threat to their jobs and were uncompetitive in providing information. Nevertheless, the company provided a large amount of data on previous vehicles and their eventual resale values. Then let me talk about the forecasting benefits. Forecasting helps in marketing predictions about variables affects business situations and helps managers make decisions on such situations. Business managers can plan their future actions by the use of techniques of forecasting. Organizations like hospitals and other healthcare institutions are most likely to be benefited by the use of forecasting technique. This technique uses qualitative methods such as different method journey of executive opinion, sales focus, complicit and consumer market survey. Time series methods such as moving average, explanation smoothing, trend projection, and decomposition, and causal methods like regression analysis. Forecasting can be done for short-term and long-term periods. Quantitative models can be used for short-term forecasting, while quantitative methods help in long-term forecasting. Finally, there are two limitations of forecasting. On the one hand, is the internal limitations. When looking at internal limitations of forecasting, the one is time. It takes time to make a good forecast. Most small businesses can't afford a full-time employee to create and manage the annual forecast, so it becomes a part of someone's overall responsibility. It's so that whoever is charged with creating the forecasting understand how important this activity is, and not look at it as just actual work to get through. Another internal limitation may be lack of historical data. Forecasting starts with the accumulation of past data and then builds from there. It's critical that historical results be maintained in such a way that they can be easily used as a part of the forecasting process. On the other hand is external limitations. The external limitations to forecasting provided the real challenge in creating a good forecast. You can control your pricing, your promotional level of activity, and your description methods, which all influence the demand for your products. What you can't control are the entry and exit of competitors. Competitive emotional activities factors such as new technology that affect the natural demand for your products. Dramatic weather events, new laws or regulations, or loss of key exciting consumers. Well, you can't control those events. You must at least be aware of them. and make reasonable assumptions about some of them and factor those into forecast. This is the end of our presentation.
Alright, thank you for watching.